Hello, my dear students, and welcome into our digital design class. So we are still in Chapter 2, Screen Design Fundamentals, and we are still on the third topic of this video lesson series, Screen Fundamentals. For this video lesson, after adding text and editing text layers using the inspector in InVision, we will now manage and mask layers. This will be the content of this video lesson. Okay, I will also add here how to add shapes, okay, and how to use other tools in InVision. So our learning objectives, or what do we want to achieve, what are expected from you, is still you should be able to simulate an app while familiarizing yourselves in the InVision Studio environment. Okay, so we are in part 2, managing layers, masking layers, and I will also add shape layers. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so in our previous video lesson, we already added a shape, yung diagonal na yung ni-rotate natin na rectangle for us to simulate this diagonal shape here. So for now, we will again insert a shape for our button to complete our button. Okay, so we will add another shape. So we will be using rounded rectangle. So you can get that by pressing the drop down arrow here, or you can tap the hotkey, which is U. So as of now, it's very important na dapat i-memorize nyo na yung mga hotkeys natin for the tools para we don't need to go back here every now and then. Okay, so I'll click this and draw a rounded rectangle for my button. Okay. And the color of that, so I'll be using fills. So kung titignan nyo dito sa inspector, halos pareho lang doon sa formatting kanina ng text. So nawala lang yung about fonts or typography. Pero nandyan pa rin ang blending, opacity, fills, border, shadows, inner shadows. Okay, the same pa rin ito for our artboard and for the shape. So you can rotate the shape. Okay, you can change the size. Okay, so gagawin muna natin ngayon is to change the fill color into white. And let's put that at the back because we want the get started to be in front. So we will change the color of this to pink. And let's put that there. Move to front. Okay. Ayan. So if you want a more rounded corner of your shape, you can always do that by going here. Okay, so yung corner radius. Okay, so pag naka-uncheck yan and you change the value or naka-deactivate ito, hindi siya nakaganyan, hindi siya naka-highlight ng blue, nakaganyan lang siya, and you change the radius, this means it will change all sides ng ganyang radius. So parang nakalock kumbaga. Okay, so for example, gawin natin siyang 20. Enter. So, papalitan niya lahat nung rounded side niya ng 20 na radius. Pero pag naka-blue ito, you can change yung individual sides ng magkakaibang radius. Okay, for example, kunwari dito sa top left, gawin mong 10. Dito sa bottom right, gawin mong 5. Okay, you can create other shapes using this option. Pero ako, I'll be using 20 sa lahat ng sides kasi I want this type of a button, shape of a button. Okay? So, now let's proceed to managing and organizing layers. So, it's easy to create and create and create layers kasi once you add a text, you are creating a layer. For example, get started, that is one layer. Sign in, another layer. Yung rectangle na rounded, another layer. Yung picture, another layer. Lahat ng ilalagay mo sa artboard mo na galing dito will be considered as one layer. And if you are on the canvas and you are the designer, it's as if it's okay to have these organized layers, di ba? But parang kasi ikaw ang gumagawa, so alam mo kung ano yung mga layers na yan. But if you hand off your design to other designers, this might not be favorable kasi medyo hihiluin mo siya kung pag nagkataon. Okay? And we don't want to create a big bad we don't want to create a mess in terms of organization of our elements on our design. Okay, so let's discuss for this video lesson how will we manage our layers and how will we organize our layers. Okay, first, how to select a layer. Where there are two ways on how to select a layer. One is to click and drag a selection around the objects that you wish to select. For example, you want to select this both. You want to select this both. So you want to select for example, the text layer and the rectangle layer. You can draw, okay, or you can drag a selection around the objects you wish to select by dragging your mouse and selecting, drawing a box, okay, to select this. Okay, another is, lalo na kung magkakalayo yung mga ise-select mo, you can hold your shift key while clicking the objects that you wish to select. Okay? Yan. So you can hold your shift key. And another way is to use yung iyong layers panel dito. Okay, the same din. Pag ginold mo ang shift and you select it here, you are selecting the objects. Okay? So if you want to remove one object from the selection, still hold the shift and click the object to remove that from the selection. Okay, so ganun lang siya. Now, if you want to group, for example, ito, pero before you group, make sure na okay na yung itsura niya. Okay? If you want to align this text inside this shape, align it vertically, horizontally centered, and vertically middle. Okay, tama ba yung term ko? Okay, you select both. And then may makikita kang options, yung alignment options dito sa taas. Okay, you can click align center to align the text at the center and then align middle to align the text doon sa middle nung shape before you group. Okay, if you want to group, you can press Ctrl G as in group. Okay, and then mapapansin mo dito, okay, na nakagroup siya. So, yung get started and rectangle are placed in a folder. Okay, meaning nakagroup siya. Okay. Next thing you need to do is to rename para alam mo kung ano yung laman ng folder na yan. And to rename, you can either double click or you can press Ctrl R. Okay, and then type the name. So, pwede mong ilagay dito, get started button. So, para mas organized lang yung mga layers natin. Okay, so I have this and I want to place that at the center of my artboard. Okay, next, if you want to check kung tama ba yung mga group mo, you can hide the layer. So makikita mo na na-hide yung dalawa, ibig sabihin talagang nandun sila sa group na yon. If you don't want, for example, ito, ayaw mong nase-select siya, every time mag-select ka, ayaw mo siyang nasasagasaan. Kunwari, final na yan, so wala ka nang i-edit. Okay, you can lock these layers para kahit i-click mo siya, ayan, yung bag, click ko, hindi na siya affected. So, ito for example, i-lock ko din. So, hindi na siya affected. So, parang nagiging part na lang siya ng background na hindi mo na-move, hindi mo na-accidentally na-i-move, hindi mo accidentally madidelete. Okay? So, yun yung gamit ng eye icon to hide and lock icon to either lock or unlock. Okay? May mga shortcut keys din tayo dito sa ating layer panel. If you want to move from the previous layer to the next layer, you can press tab. Okay? Or shift tab if you want to move to the previous layer. So, kunwari nandito ka, you want to move to the next layer, tab. Kung nasa baba ka naman, you want to move to the previous layer, shift tab. Okay? So, yun yung mga options natin. So, let's add another artboard and let's copy yung next na design natin. So, I'll just press A A is the shortcut key of Artboard. So I'll tap A and I'll select Galaxy S7 to add another. Make sure na pare-pareho yung size ng artboard nyo. Baka magkakaiba naman. Okay, so in this artboard, we will copy this. So we will copy this design. Okay, so meron tayong color na pink sa likod and then maglalagay tayo ng another color na white dito. Okay, so ang unang gagawin ko is to change the color of this. Okay, so background. And I'll change the color. And I'll be adding a rounded, so U. And I'll draw and change the color to white. Okay, and let's just put it here. Okay, so I will just add another artboard here. So I can place here yung design na inisnip ko doon sa behance.net. So I will press I and look for that design. Ito siya. Open. Ayan. Para meron lang akong basis habang ginagawa ko yung design. Okay, so I need design in. So since meron na akong copy dito, I can simply duplicate this by holding Alt, clicking this, and dragging it here. Okay, you just hold the middle mouse button if you want to pan around. Okay, so I'll put sign in here and change the color to pink. Ayan. And I will also put the logo of Romney here at the top. So I'll insert an ellipse or O and change the color to white. Before I draw, you hold the shift key if you want a perfect circle. Okay. The white yung color. White. Okay. And I'll put R. So T, R, capital R. Escape if we want to escape. And let's change the color of R to pink. And let's move that here. And let's just change the size of this to something bigger. Okay. Ayan. And let's put Romney. So text ulit. T. Romney. Escape. And let's change the color to white. Ay. So I will just change na lang yung kanyang casing to capital. And masyado siyang malaki. So center. So memorize nyo na yung mga click ko para when you work sa mga computers ninyo, you know what to do. And I'll be using this later again sa mga susunod na screen ko. So I will group this. Center ko lang muna. I'll make sure na naka-center siya. Make sure na naka-center yan and naka-middle. And then let's select that. Control G to group. And let's name this Romney logo. Okay, so sana nakikita nyo yung ginagawa ko dito para mapadali din pag kayo ang gumawa. Okay, nasa na si sign in. Let's change the color to pink. And we have a box here. So R to draw a rectangle. Okay, and let's just change the color. Yan. And dito natin gagamitin yung shadow. So I will add a shadow para lang magkaroon siya ng ganong effect, pero 1 lang. And then for the blur, babaan ko lang konti. 1. Okay. Or pwede din na maglagay kayo ng outline if you don't want to use shadow. Okay, itong sign in ko dapat nasa center. Okay, I can also add a line using path or P. So just click and then press enter if you want to end. Kasi pag hindi ka nag-enter, tutuloy-tuloy lang yung draw niyan. Okay, so I will just adjust the size and move it a little bit. And I will copy this by holding Alt. Ito yung pinakamadali on how to duplicate. You hold your Alt and then click and drag the object that you wish to copy. Okay, and then let's change the outline color. So the same na lang yung ginagawa ko. So let's change the border to gray. And also this, let's change the border to gray. Kung medyo hindi nakikita at gusto nyong palitan yung color, you can always find yung gusto nyong color dito and then add that to your document colors in case na you will be using that again sa mga susunod na screen ninyo. Okay, so in here, I'll be adding a text. Okay, and let's just change the text to black. And make sure na hindi ka naka uppercase. Okay, so username, and then pan. Pwede mo nang ilagay yung pangalan mo since you are the designer. So sample lang naman ito. Okay, so I will change the alignment, escape, para mag-escape ako sa text box. And I will change the size. So I am now basing yung ginagawa ko doon sa design na kinuha ko sa behance.net. Okay, so I will change the color of this to gray. And the font weight to regular. Hindi masyadong nakikita yung gray ko. So let me add another shade of gray and add that to my document color. Ayan. And since okay na to sa akin, okay. So yun, nakikita nyo, accidentally na-move ko siya. So I can lock this para pag nag-select ako, okay, and duplicate that, madali na lang without affecting yung background. Okay, next, let's change this to password. And let's change this to asterisk. Okay, so later natin gagawin ito pag nasa Boolean operations na tayo. And also, I want to copy this. So hold Alt and drag because I want to use this for my button na sign in. So, nakagroup ito. Let's change this to sign in button. Okay, and we want only to change this sign in. And the rectangle, we want that to be pink and the text white. Okay, and let's copy this. Alt. Okay, forgot password. And let's change the color like this. Okay. So make sure na naka-center. Make sure na naka-center. Okay, and we simulated this design. Huwag kayong mag-alala kung hindi ganun yung itsura niya kasi magiging ganyan din yan pag preview mo na. Okay, so automatically nag-change. Iba lang yung phone na nagamit dito, iba yung phone na nagamit dito. Pero we are after the design lang. Okay, so that's how you design this part. Okay, let's use another screen. Okay, let me just insert the next screen na ikokopya natin. Okay, so ito siya. And I will add another artboard S7. Okay, let's just put the screen here na gagayahin natin. Okay, if you want to pan, ulitin ko lang, you click and drag the middle mouse button. Okay, so ito yung next screen na gagawin natin. And halos pareho lang siya dito. So let's just copy. I think, yes, halos pareho lang. So I'll just select this and wait lang. So I'll just select this and drag, holding the Alt key. Okay, let's just change the color of the screen of this artboard to, where's that? Pink. Okay, so let's unlock this rectangle so we can copy it by holding Alt and dragging. Okay, and let's just put this at the back. So move to back. Yeah. And let's simulate this. So we already have the logo at the top. So wala na tayong problema dyan. So let's just change this to OTP verification. And let's move our line. So Control 2 if you want to zoom in a specific object. Okay, Control 1. If you want to return doon sa view wherein nakikita mo lahat, Control, click the artboard and Control 2 para zoom in yung artboard na selected. Basta kung gusto mong i-zoom in yung nakaselect na object, artboard man yan, shape man yan, text man yan, Control 2. Okay? So I will just copy this by holding Alt and dragging. Ayan. And then, so I will remove this and resize yung aking mga rectangle. I'll hold Alt to duplicate. Okay. And kung gusto mo na equal yung distribution nito, yung spacing niya, you can click this if you want this to distribute horizontally. Kung pababa naman na ganon, yung mga rectangle, you can click this to distribute it vertically. Okay? And let's use this for the text. So 8 escape. And let's capitalize that. Or let's change the size. So parang mas madali na, lock lang natin to para hindi na move. So parang mas madali na gagawin ko muna ito. Okay. And then hold Alt and then move and then move and then move. Tsaka tayo mag-tidy. Okay. Kasi hindi ko group. At least nakikita nyo kung ano yung nangyayari. Ayan. So, I will just, may mga shortcut keys din ito by the way. Okay, so tidy ko lang. So, if you want to center align and middle align, may shortcut key tayo. Alt-H and Alt-V. So, Alt-H, Alt-V, Alt-H, Alt-V, Alt-H, Alt-V, Alt-H, Alt-V. Okay, para madali. And then, 9. So, bahala kayo dito kung ano din yung ilalagay nyo na number. Okay, so wala na to. Next is verify. So, yun ang maganda pag na-finalize nyo na, you can copy, you don't need to recreate, okay, your buttons. You can simply duplicate them and just edit para madali ang trabaho. Okay, and let's just put it here, the top. Okay, so let me just complete this part kasi hindi ko pa pala nailagay yung nasa taas. Okay, so I will just duplicate this here and type OTP has been sent to 997 940 9958. Escape. And let's just center this. and change the color to black. And before we proceed to the next topic, okay, so let's just organize again our layer and make sure na readable siya sa lahat ng babasa. Okay? So let's start with this artboard one and let's name this as the home screen. So we have the get started, the sign in. Okay. So let's just minimize yung laman. Artboard 2 will be the sign in screen. Okay, so we have here the sign in button, the path, the Rami logo. Okay, and we have the forgot password, username, and the rectangle, mga nagamit. So you can also group ito para maging iisang object, itong username and then password also. So nasa inyo na kung gusto nyong i-group o hindi. For artboard 3, let's rename this as OTP verification para lang mas madaling maghanap next time. Okay, so we have here. Okay, so let's just minimize artboard 4. Wala pa. Okay, so for the next topic, so make sure Hannah to rename your artboards, rename your layers if necessary, lock them or hide them if necessary. Okay, you group them and name them appropriately. Okay, for the next part, we will be masking layers. Okay, so this is actually a circle or a picture inside a circle shape. Okay, and that is masking layers. Okay, so let me just transfer that here. Okay, and we will be using pure pink for the background as seen here. Okay, so hindi ko na i-discuss kung paano yung text dyan kasi ginawa na natin yan and also yung mga buttons natin dito. So ang i-demo ko na lang is how will you mask this picture doon sa shape. Okay, so let's add an ellipse or let's just press O and hold shift to draw a perfect circle. And let's just move that at the center. Okay. And let's press I to insert an image. I will use my picture. Control 2. So I can resize this picture. So let's position that here. Okay. Now, if you want to put or place that image inside this mask layer. So this is our mask layer. Okay, so if you want to do that, so just double click. Just select this both. Okay, so let's select the mask layer and the picture and click toggle mask. The shortcut key is Control Alt M. Okay, or mas madali ito, i-click mo na lang. So papasok na yung picture doon sa shape. Okay, and if you want to edit or reposition the picture inside the shape or you just want to resize the shape or simply just want to edit yung not the shape, the picture, okay, you double click this and you can edit yung nasa loob ng shape. Okay, ayan. After that, just press escape. Okay, now if you want to unmask the layer, ibig sabihin paghihiwalayin mo ni sila. Okay, ito sila by the way and let me just rename it. So Control R and let's rename this as profile picture. Okay, and let's rename also the artboard as upload picture. Okay, ayan. So if you want to unmask, just click the mask layer. Take note, the mask layer is the object kung saan mo place yung image. Okay, or yung other object. Okay, and that is the ellipse. So you check the ellipse dito sa inyong layer panel. Okay, so ito yung profile picture, itong group na to. So click or right-click this ellipse, which is the mask layer, and then click or select unmask. So, mawawala yon, nakagroup lang kasi sila. Okay, so if I will move this, ayan, so naka-unmask na sila. Okay, so that's how you mask and unmask layers in InVision Studio desktop app. Okay, so that ends this video lesson on how you will manage or organize your layers and even how to mask layers so that you can put or place objects inside another object. Okay, so we will be discussing how to create icons using Boolean operations on the next video lesson. So thank you for watching and listening, guys, and see you at the next video lesson.